Pause this video if you would like to see the materials and colors I'm using for today's painting. Hi everyone and welcome back to Paint Together Studio. Today we are painting this beautiful sliced papaya in watercolor. At first glance it may look like a simple fruit, but it contains almost every watercolor technique that beginners should practice, like smooth blending, transparent layering, texture, color harmony, and creating depth using values instead of heavy outlines. And thank you so much for your support. I upload more than 45 watercolor art tutorials every month. So follow for more and watch the full tutorials on my channel Paint Together Studio. Now let's begin by understanding the colors before we paint. Before starting the artwork, I always like to study the colors first. In the color exercise you see here, I'm not simply testing different paints. I'm learning how each pigment behaves when it mixes with another. For the papaya flush, I begin with cadmium yellow because it creates a bright foundation. And once it's dry, I gradually introduce cadmium orange hue and finally a small amount of cadmium red, where I need the richer color. Instead of mixing all three colors together immediately, I let them blend through transparent layers. This creates a much cleaner watercolor effect and keep the fruit looking fresh. The same idea applies to the seeds as well. Even though they appear black, they actually contain reflected light and subtle color changes. Mixing ivory black with a touch of ultramarine creates a richer black than using black alone. Now let's look at the skin. Rather than using one green throughout the painting, I am building several values. I begin with sap green, then strengthen the color using Hooker's green light, and finally add ultramarine to create cooler and deeper shadows. Notice how the green changes naturally without becoming muddy? And whenever you are practicing watercolor, spend a few minutes making color studies like these. Understanding your colors before painting will improve your artwork much more than buying new paint. Now let's move on to the sketch. I always begin with the largest shape before drawing the smaller details. And once the outer shape is correct, I add the opening of the fruit, the seed cavity, and finally the outer skin. Keeping the sketch simple helps you focus on painting instead of correcting proportions later. And before I start painting, I also add a few loose ballpoint pen lines. This step is completely optional. I personally enjoy the blueprint inspired look because it gives the artwork a handcrafted style. And for beginners, these construction lines also make the fruit feel more structured and help explain the form without needing extra paint. Remember, the sketch is only a guide. Don't try to draw every tiny details. The watercolor layers will do most of your work. Now it's time to begin painting. I'm starting with a light wash of cadmium yellow across the papaya flash. And for the skin, I'm applying a light wash of sap green. And underneath the fruit, I'm placing a soft cast shadow using diluted ivory black. At this stage, everything looks very light, and that's exactly what we want. The first wash simply established the overall color family. And once the paper is completely dry, I begin the second layer. For the flash, I am using cadmium orange hue together with a small amount of cadmium red. And instead of covering the yellow completely, I leave parts of the first layer visible. And these transparent layers create the beautiful glow that watercolor is known for. One of my favorite things about this painting is a contrast between the warm orange flash, the rich green skin, the glossy black seeds, and the soft cast shadow. These colors work together to make the artwork feel bright, fresh, and full of life. Now I move to the seeds. I am using a mixture of ivory black and the ultramarine. Although the seeds are dark, I still leave tiny highlights between them. And those small light shapes help separate one seed from another and prevent the center from becoming one solid dark area. For the skin, I strengthen the green using Hooker's green light. And then I introduce a little ultramarine to create more depth along the lower edge. And finally, I strengthen the shadow with another layer of ivory black mixed with ultramarine, allowing some softer edges to remain. And before moving to the final layer, make sure everything is completely dry. Working on dry paper helps you keep cleaner edges and stronger control. Now I'm adding the third layer to the flesh. And this layer mainly uses cadmium orange hue with a touch of cadmium red. And instead of making every section darker, I'm choosing only the areas that naturally turn away from the light. Inside the seed cavity, I also add a little ultramarine to my orange mixture. And this cool addition helps create more depth and separates the seed cavity from the brighter flesh around it. also make a final check of the overall values. Sometimes a painting does not need more details. It simply needs a little stronger contrast in one or two places. And before calling a painting finished, try looking at it from a distance and ask yourself, does the fruit feel fresh? Do the warm oranges balance nicely with the cool greens? Or can you clearly separate the flesh, seeds, skin and shadow? If the answer is yes, then it's probably time to stop. For the outer skin, I want even stronger contrast. I am using Hooker's green light, ultramarine and just a tiny amount of ivory black. The ivory black is completely optional. If you prefer cleaner color mixtures, simply use Hooker's green light and ultramarine. Remember, darker colors becomes much more effective when they are placed only in selected areas. And you don't need to darken everything equally. Now we are ready for the highlights. And for today's painting, I am using China White watercolor. I add it only where the light naturally catches the fruit, especially around the seeds and a few small areas of the flesh. Try not to place highlights everywhere. A few carefully chosen highlights usually have a much more impact than covering the painting with white. To complete the artwork, I am adding a few ballpoint pen lines around selected edges and the construction marks. And this step is completely optional, but I enjoy the blueprint inspired style because it adds personality while still allowing the watercolor to remain the main focus. And if you enjoyed painting along with me, please like this video and subscribe to Paint Together Studio for more step-by-step watercolor tutorials. And thank you so much for painting with me today. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Happy painting!